You're on.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Douglas Planning Board meeting for May 13th, 2020. The meeting is being recorded and is available for viewing on the Douglas Public Access channel and on the Douglas website. We'll come to order at 7:01. First thing we're going to do is get our agenda for our next meeting. We have some dates available, Bill?
Yes, so obviously we can't meet on our, it's a logistics issue. The selectmen are meeting every week on Tuesday nights, which is our normal meeting night. So therefore, we can't meet at the same time because cable can only broadcast one meeting at a time.
Okay.
Or record one meeting at a time. So it becomes a logistics issue, and that's why we have to bump our meeting night to different
Yep.
nights. So I asked the town clerk what days are open for the next 2 months, and you have a calendar at the back end of your packet that lists those dates. I circled the dates that are available, and there's a handful.
Okay.
Look at that.
All right.
Somebody, doing that?
And therefore, so we have a handful of dates to choose from for the next meetings. We do have some hearings coming up, so we have to schedule and advertise those. And again, that's 2 weeks out
Yep.
at least, and then 3 days probably to get the notice into the newspaper, so it's a little over.
You want to come
I'll
up
see you
here?
guys later. I'm gonna call from the open house. I think you guys have all breached what the.
I see here in May,
Like,
what's going on?
I mean,
So,
Well, I'm
We haven't breached with the law. The law is pretty clear and mandated as to the way that it works, is that a mask is mandated where socially distancing is impossible. Socially distancing is very possible in this room. This video chat was provided to you where you do not feel comfortable.
I understand.
You can dial in from your home, but to walk in here
We got a group time
and
for
start
1 second,
insulting people the
okay?
way that you chose to do it is completely
I'm-
unacceptable, and I won't tolerate it.
I apologize for that. But we've come down, even our store and farm and everywhere has come down, people have come down on everybody right now. And I thought we were all pulling the same direction to protect each of us from this.
Absolutely.
That's all.
And video conferencing was made available to people that don't feel comfortable coming into a meeting.
But at least-
Myself and the vice chairman of the board of selectmen and our town manager, we're in here for every one of our meetings. We're staying 6 feet apart from one another. We have 2 elderly people, well, not elderly, but
No,
might
let's not go
to
on.
dial in
I apologize for
remotely.
that. I was
But an outburst
surprised.
like that was completely
I'm elderly.
unacceptable.
You don't have to exacerbate it, I appreciate it. I apologize for that, okay? But I'm just surprised.
do you,
Right.
I mean, I have a copy of what the law,
I'll come over here to the other side of the bunk.
Over here?
We can make 6 feet here, and I'm still
Yeah.
gonna wear a mask. What I think is,
There is one more chair over there.
I'll sit on this chair.
What, are we looking for another date, Bill, in May?
do you have your packet? It's up there.
That's up to the board. Personally, I think
The
I
20
think one meeting a month.
Yeah.
We're approaching that season where we do meet once a month anyway.
Yeah.
And that combined with the fact that meeting nights are so scarce that if someone else needs to meet, we really don't want to overdo it.
All right, I'd say we go for sometime in June.
I would suggest sometime in June. And like I said, we have some hearings that are pending, but we can't schedule because we don't have the next date scheduled.
like for May here, to keep our like 2 weeks apart, instead of it on a Tuesday, where we're meeting here on the 14th, if we went to the 28th, that would be the full 2 weeks.
Yep, we could do that.
Yeah, today's the
That'd be like, to stay on that
It
particular
wouldn't be for
day.
new hearings. I want to make that clear because we don't have time to advertise.
True.
So,
Any,
Right, but if we meet every 2 weeks, the 2nd and the 4th, and that would keep it on the 2nd and the 4th.
so today's
Instead of
Wednesday.
Tuesday, it'd be the 2nd and 4th, Wednesday, the 27th.
Yeah, it could be. However, we just said we were going to go to one day,
That's in the summer.
That's usually there in the summer. We haven't hit the summer yet.
We're not there yet.
June and summer.
like it starts next month or something.
I'm okay. I'm okay with meeting on the 27th,
So we'll go 27th?
if that works for other folks.
Is the 27th?
I need next month's too, so.
No.
Yeah, and then on June,
Yep.
Normally on a yearly calendar was June or one meeting or 2 meetings?
I think one, I don't know off the top of my head, Mike.
We've been advised that we should probably meet once a month.
Yeah.
At least once, yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Try
you
to
want
meet,
to go, would be the second week in June, put it on Thursday, the 11th?
Yeah, that's reasonable.
that's okay with me.
Yeah,
And then if need be, if something really has to come up,
yeah. We got
then we
one
could
more.
always have another meeting on the week of the 22nd at some point, if something really came up.
Yeah, something critical.
Yeah, 2 weeks. It'll be the
June 11th?
25th.
So go with June 11th.
Yeah.
That's still open, Bill?
So
That's
tell me the 2 dates you're talking about.
May 27th?
May 27th and June 11th.
Yeah.
June 11th. Okay, thank you.
Do you need a vote on it? No?
Nope.
Cool.
What's that?
Okay, so you want to meet twice this month then?
Yeah. We normally do. And where we have the solar project in the works, we should try to keep it where as questions and things come up, and then our normal summer schedule of once a month, we'll go to what we normally do.
Yeah.
But we didn't schedule 2 for May. We didn't schedule 2 for June.
No.
Yeah, we did.
Based on our
We're meeting right
conversation a
now.
minute
No,
ago.
we're going to go to once a month after
After May.
June,
After May.
after May.
Yeah, because
June
usually,
11th.
once a month.
yeah, because June, July, and August, we usually meet once a month.
We're gonna meet on the 27th again
Yep.
of this month.
Okay, I thought you just said differently, but okay.
Cool. Selectmen meeting every
And
2 weeks,
June
right?
11th.
Weekly, yeah. I don't blame you. No.
Well, a lot
All
of
right.
it is because of where
I know, the budget.
and stuff is at.
True. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All set on that? All right. And before we start our regular agenda, I'm going to read this that came, now therefore hereby order the following. Effective May 6, 2020, any person over age 2 who is in a place open to the public in the Commonwealth, whether indoor or outdoor, and is unable and does not maintain a distance of approximately 6 feet from every other person, shall cover their mouth and nose with a mask or cloth face covering, except where a person is unable to wear a mask or face cover due to a medical condition, or the person is otherwise exempt by Department of Public Health guidance. A person who declines to wear a mask or cloth face covering because of a medical condition shall not be required to produce documentation verifying the condition. This requirement applies to all workers and customers of businesses and other organizations open to the public that are permitted to operate as COVID-19 essential businesses as defined in Appendix A of COVID-19 Order 13, as extended by COVID-19 Orders 21 and 30. So if you're uncomfortable, we can do the meeting from your home. And as long as you maintain the 6-foot distance, you don't have to wear the mask if you don't want to. That's how we'll run our meetings from now on. I am probably going to wear mine. All right, we'll go to our agenda. First item. 7 o'clock, public hearing continued, Cooperstown Road Realty Trust. Application for a definitive subdivision, residential compound, Hawk Hill Farm, 768 and 772 Northwest Main Street. Possible votes. Public hearing is now reopened. Okay, Bill, do you have anything to present?
Nothing new has come in. I think the applicant, I had a brief conversation with the engineer and the applicant regarding the interpretation of that section we discussed at the last meeting where I could read it if you want again, because I think that's going to be the heart of the discussion.
Okay.
Basically, the section talks about the property being held in common ownership prior to a certain date. And since we have 3 owners, that's where the question comes in. So I'll read that. Hold on a second.
Excuse me, Ernie.
Yes, Tracy?
I just want everyone to know that I'm on.
Yep,
Yep.
thank you. We were all wondering.
Okay.
Welcome.
I couldn't get my cell phone to do the video, but I was on, I heard briefly the schedule and your reading of the notice for the facial. So I just wanted to make that public record that I'm present.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, did you see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yep.
We're usually, okay.
Yep,
All right, we
yep.
usually do a roll call before remote, so.
Nope, you're loud and clear, and we can see you perfectly. Thank you.
And Byron, too.
So section 4.3.2, eligibility of the subdivision rules and regulations say in part, to qualify for consideration as a residential compound, the subdivision must satisfy all of the following conditions, provided, however, that satisfaction of the following conditions shall only result in rendering the plan eligible for further consideration by the board pursuant to this section and does not guarantee approval. Then we jump down to letter E, which says, not more than one residential compound plan subdivision shall be created from a property or set of contiguous properties held in common ownership as of May 26, 2009. Documentation to this effect shall be submitted to the planning board along with the application for residential compound approval. So the property consists, in fact, as of that date, as far as I'm aware, no information was submitted with the application, so I can't say definitively.
Okay.
But nonetheless, my understanding is that the property is comprised of 4 separate parcels of land owned by 3 different owners.
Okay. All right, is there anybody on,
But it's one compound.
It's proposed as a
Right.
residential compound.
is there anybody online tonight that wants to speak
I
on this?
think Byron's online, and we have the applicant in the audience.
Okay. Byron, are you there?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can
Byron.
you hear me all right? All right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. I think what we'd like to talk about tonight is that issue that Bill is talking about. And I think it's a matter of interpretation in terms of common ownership, because we have a unique situation here. It isn't, strictly speaking, 3 different owners, because, well, I think, let me just start it this way. We consider that this land, for the purpose of the regulation, can be considered in common ownership. It's a particular situation, but I think it's unique in the town. I think there's another situation like this. To go back in the history of it, we surveyed the property back in 2000. It was owned by Chamberlain at the time, and Robert Chapman and Joseph Schlesman were working together in partnership to buy the land, and we surveyed the land for them. We developed the plans for them, and they have the Cooperstown Realty Trust. Is those 2 individuals, Robert Chapman and Joseph Schlesman. And I think hopefully you can see the illustration. It helps a little bit. So this entire piece here was the Chamberlain land. We surveyed for the Cooperstown Realty Trust, AKA Schlesman and Chapman. The contract was for both of them jointly. We did the work for both of them jointly. After we surveyed the property and developed a plan, they separated out sections of the land for their own individual families. But really, I think we can consider this as 2 families that are working on this land continuously since 2000. And I think that's because of the nature of their partnership, of the 2 families' partnership in this land. They are the joint applicants. So in terms of this property and in terms of the applicant being Schlesman and Chapman, this whole land is owned by the applicants, Mr. and Mrs. Schlesman, Mr. and Mrs. Chapman, and the Realty Trust, which owns the lion's share of it and surrounds the 2 lots, which is those 2 families. So I think in terms of the regulations, in terms of the intent of the bylaw, create a residential development, a limited development for a limited amount of people. I believe that you can interpret it as them owning it because they are planning on developing it themselves. This isn't a developer that's working on this. It isn't an outside party. It's the two families that have owned this land continuously since 2000.
Thank you, Baron. All right, Bill, did we present that question to town council, or?
I spoke with town council when I was first drafting my comment letter, and he was of the impression at that time, now he hasn't had the benefit of the argument that's being presented tonight.
Right.
But at that time, he was of the opinion that the comment was accurate that I made, that, you know, it was not held in common ownership.
Okay.
Certainly, I would encourage, you know, if Byron has an argument,
Yep.
and if the board wants to rely on town council's opinion, I would suggest that they put their position in a letter that I can forward to town council. And then if town council says, yes, that sounds reasonable,
Yep.
then, you know, they have a green light to proceed. If it's no, maybe they come back and talk to the board again. I don't know.
Okay. Byron, what's your preference on that? Would you like us to present that to town council as that being an argument that it's a common ownership?
Yes, that would be fine. Would you like me to prepare a letter for you to forward with whatever you're going to forward to them?
Yeah, that would probably be the best route to go.
That's what Bill was asking for.
Yep.
Yeah, we'd be happy to do that.
Okay. All right, anything else on this project now, or? I don't see how we can go any further until we get this question answered.
That was our feeling too. We thought that the other comments that Bill had were technical comments, but really we need to determine this situation before we really want to get into the meat and potatoes of the technical comments.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay, so,
I have one more thing.
yeah, go ahead, Bill.
So as you know, I post my information online. Byron, I don't know if you've gone to the site lately, but I've been getting some input from property abutters that I'm posting at the website. And basically, there's two separate property abutters that want to be assured, and I'm not sure if you've considered this when you drew your plan, Byron, but they're of the impression they might have a right-of-way to their landlocked property, and if that's the case, they would like that referenced on the plan.
Yeah, I can look into that. Whether they have a right-of-way, it'll take some research. Obviously, they wouldn't necessarily have a right-of-way unless it was in common ownership before and it was sold out in a certain way, in which case they could have a prescriptive right. But I will look into that and I'll see what I can find out.
Okay.
Excellent. Good. All right, you need a motion to,
Anybody else on the board? Any questions right now?
I'm good with that. It would be a starting point.
Yeah.
our next meeting is in May 27th.
Tracy,
anyway.
anything? No? Okay. Anybody in the audience? This is a public hearing? No? Okay. All right, so you want us to continue to our next meeting, which is going to be the end of this month, or do you want to go till June?
We could continue till the end of the month and then just see if we have a response from town council at that point.
All right. Okay, Bill?
Just as soon as you give me the letter, I'll forward it on.
Okay.
Okay.
So we need a motion?
On the 27th, Bill?
27th at 7.
Yep,
Yep. Okay, 27th at 7?
yep.
May 27th at 7 o'clock?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right,
Okay, somebody make a motion?
I'll make,
Make a motion to continue the public hearing for Cooperstown Road Realty Trust to May 27th at 7 PM.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Mike G.
Need a roll call.
Yeah, we have to do a roll call vote. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. Is that what, Aaron?
State your name and.
State your name and,
how you vote.
state your name and your vote. We have to do roll call votes on that one.
Aye. Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Swicker, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Tracy?
Jackie, aye.
Okay. Okay. Motion's approved. We'll continue to 27th.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Brian.
Oh, we're early.
All right, our next public hearing is at 7:30. We'll have to wait till 7:30 to start that.
So
Yeah.
discussion item
Bill,
one.
anything?
Discussion item 1, they made a submittal with some direction and input to the board, but then they withdrew it, so that, all that information's in your packet.
Armstrong.
Yeah,
What is withdrawn right now?
that's withdrawn. They're going to resubmit later.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, item
Okay.
2?
Maybe we should just jump down to 3.
Sure, yep, all right.
Item 3, Shady Knolls Estates Monuments. I did send out a request for proposals to a number of survey companies looking for pricing next week. So by the next meeting, I should have pricing for that so that you can make a selection or a recommendation to the administrator for a selection.
Okay, how many,
I think I sent somewhere between 3 and 5 firms.
Okay.
I don't know how many bonds. We have a fixed finite dollar amount, so the way I structured it was a unit price per bound.
okay.
Right.
Did the original ones get installed, Bill? For Downs Road from last,
No, this is that same one.
this is the same funds? Okay.
And we were gonna try to, I know, we don't know when there's gonna be a town meeting. We're gonna go for a few
We have a draft
more
article
for the same area, and we're gonna try to marriage them all together to make it more bang for the buck. but we don't
We
know
actually
when.
had a discussion, and we were looking at Conservation Drive, and that's what
Yeah.
currently what the article is drafted for.
Yeah.
But we don't know when we're gonna have a meeting.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Okay, we still got time, Bill, you want to keep going?
Yep.
Yep.
I don't see Andy here yet.
Okay.
Why don't you do number 5, Ernie?
Okay. All right, request for a 3-year accessory apartment special permit extension. Brenda Beckwith, Richard Skinner, 174 South Street,
Okay. Is that another part?
and it should be in our packet.
You sent us
Yep, I got it
really
here.
well on our phones. The email you sent us, and we can go to each and every, it works seamlessly.
That's the idea with the iPads.
They're really great. On the phone, it was good.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
So, I just want to make, I read it like you guys. Brenda Bethwick
Yep.
is still, she's now the trustee, and Richard Skinner's living there, and Brenda's also living there? Is that the family member? The two family members?
I think, yeah, I think
I
it's,
think I have
Yes.
the original.
I think,
But Brenda's now, she's the trustee.
yeah.
okay.
When the father had moved, he was in another town, so he moved here 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I read the old one.
yeah. I think I'm familiar with it. It's one common house,
Yeah, yeah.
ranch with in-law setup.
As long as the two
Yeah.
related people are there,
I
it's
think,
fine.
I think, yeah, I think one of the members is a volunteer in town.
That's good.
Yes.
Okay. Bill, any questions on it?
No?
No? Okay.
No, we have a draft decision prepared for extension.
Okay, so, all right,
All right.
make a motion, yep.
Make a motion to accept the extension, 3-year extension to 174 South Street, Douglas, Mass. Richard A. Skinner Testamentary Trust. Richard Skinner living there, and Brenda Beckwith is the trustee and also, I guess, living there.
Motion made by Aaron,
I'll second.
seconded by Les. We'll do a roll call vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aaron says aye. Aaron Sokrat.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye?
Les Stevens, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Tracy?
Tracy Shrek, aye.
Okay.
Can I
Motion
ask a
passes.
quick question?
Yes,
Why have we switched to the roll call system here?
because of what we're doing on the internet and so that people will be more clear on how people voted.
The video minutes have to be accurate.
Yep.
Okay. Not like we're changing the bylaws or anything like that.
No, just,
That's how the Supreme Court does it.
Yeah.
You want to know
all right.
the minutes?
When things get normalized.
Couple minutes, Bill. Anything else?
We could try and knock out number 2 if you want.
Sure, what is number
Number
2?
2, outside peer review,
Yeah.
93 Davis Realty Trust, 93 Davis
Okay.
Street.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself from this
Okay,
discussion item,
Okay.
okay,
if I could figure it out.
okay. Do come back, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Okay.
All right,
Yep.
the record show that Tracy has recused herself.
All right, cool.
All right,
So in your packet, you have a binder clipped set of papers. I solicited some price proposals pursuant to our last discussion on getting outside peer review for the site plan review submittal that came in.
Yep.
So I did solicit, I think, 5 proposals,
You got
5 firms. I only got responses from 3. And the way I structured it, I had to give them something to base their submittal on that was apples and apples. Because sometimes there's a lot of back and forth on these things.
Yep.
If the comment was addressed properly, if there's a difference of opinion, it takes a little more effort. So task 1 was a site visit, to go to the site, basically take a look at the physical features of the site.
Yep.
Task 2 was reviewing the submittal pursuant to our bylaws. And task 3, and preparing a letter report, obviously, for the board's review.
Okay.
And task 3 is attending that meeting. So it obviously doesn't include reviewing the responses to their comments, and because that could get into, like I say, a lengthy thing. So that was a nice finite bar to compare apples and apples between the various firms.
Okay, yeah.
So the 3 that submitted were Leonard, Paracorp, and McClure. Leonard gave us unit prices for each task, which is what I was looking for. Pear and McClure did not. They just gave us not to exceed fees for that scope.
Okay, yeah.
You'll see I broke out task 4, which is other services, and basically that's giving me their unit prices for staff and
Yep.
personnel. So
Okay.
if there's additional work, it would be billed in accordance to that fee schedule.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lastly,
May I chime in here for a second, please? This is Teresa again, and representative to 93 Davis Realty Trust.
We have you-
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
we can hear you. We're just in discussion right now.
I'm sorry, what?
I'll take questions as soon as we finish our discussion.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay.
It's T1.
Don't this technology run amok?
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Bill.
okay, so as you can see, Leonard gave a range, and, that range is a result of if they remote into the meeting or if they physically attend the meeting.
Okay,
That's basically the difference there. So that range was $2,776 to $3,040. The next low bid was McClure, which was a fixed fee of $4,000, and Paracorp was $4,300. And Para and McClure did not distinguish between whether or not they were attending physically or remoting.
Well,
Okay. Yeah.
So lastly, I'm comfortable with any of these firms, which is why I chose them to solicit.
Okay.
I think each of them do a fine job.
Yeah. Which one of them do you think, you said McClure was one of the ones that was doing exactly what you were asking? Is that-
No,
Leonard
Oh, Leonard, okay.
gave the breakdown.
And they're more competitive by grant anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And McClure, that seems they all work with municipalities, but at least
All of them do,
Leclerc listed a few on projects, so.
All right, board, any preference?
Well, Leonard is,
I mean, I'm happy with Leonard.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
We've used Leonard on a number of different projects, and, we have a good relationship with them.
Okay. All right, the lady that had a question for us, can we get your name and address, please? And you can ask your questions?
Yes, my name is Teresa Madison, and I'm weighing in as Z&T, who is the Realty, 93 Realty Trust on this
Okay.
property. We're the owners of that property.
Okay.
My question is the stormwater included in this? Who's doing the stormwater?
The stormwater is included in it. That was one of the specific things I listed in my request for proposals.
Yep.
And again, I want to be clear that there may be back and forth on this, so, just because it says, $3,040, if there's back and forth on the comments, that's obviously going to go up. So that is the bare minimum price, let me put it that way.
Okay.
But it's apples to apples.
So,
But it's apples to apples from firm to firm to firm.
yeah,
A little bit.
that's the initial review, but not the back and forth with new calcs or
Correct.
anything else,
Correct.
and data points and discussions.
Correct.
Yeah, that's just the initial review. Makes sense.
Okay, so the stormwater is included in that. And the other thing is I thought that I was going to be able to make a choice myself because I didn't receive anything.
I think it was.
You have, now, the last I knew that nobody had put anything in yet, was the last I knew.
Ever had an applicant choose?
No, the way the process works is the board will make a decision. If there's an objection to the selection that the board makes, the statute allows you to appeal that selection to the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
So are you making a decision tonight as to who's going to go forth with this? So that way we can get on to the next meeting?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
I think we're there. I mean, did she see the
Okay,
background?
and stormwater is going to be included. So
Very good,
that's,
yes.
it's a whole package. It's not going to be separated up and it's going to be delayed to the next meeting. We're going to go forth with a whole package?
It depends how fast everything comes together. We could do it in one meeting, or if there's
Once I get
questions
the
or
board's
concerns.
authorization to proceed on one of the contractors,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the administrator with their proposal, ask him to sign it, assuming there's adequate funds in the 53G account. If there is not, I will first get the supplemental funds to cover the cost. And then, once I get the authorization from the town administrator, I will issue a notice to proceed to the consultant, and they'll be authorized to go.
So, just so the applicant knows, any leftover funds after the review get returned back to the applicant.
Correct.
So, so what Bill would need is making sure that the 53G account for this site plan review is properly funded.
Correct.
And then, we're going to choose one of the engineering companies to go do the review. And probably by our next meeting, we'll have the initial comments and discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could, it depends on how
Possibly,
fast it goes.
possibly.
Yeah, it depends how fast everything gets done. It could be the next meeting that we would be able to vote on this, or we may have to go one more meeting after that. But we can't guarantee that
Well, I
everything
wanna
will be
be
done by
clear.
the next meeting.
The hearing's not going to happen on our next meeting.
No,
Because we
no.
need 2 weeks and 3 days to advertise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's your answer. It won't be at the next meeting, but we will be continuing and going along to make sure that the project gets done.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying the next meeting on the 27th will be, this person will at least have some preliminaries to put forth, so that way we can go to the 11th to get to public hearing.
June 11th.
Yeah, June 11th.
June 11th.
I mean, probably
So
prior
we're
to
going
that.
to, are we going to hold everything up until June 11th and then decide to go to public hearing? Or are we going to meet on the 27th to see if they have enough together so we can get to a public hearing on the 11th?
We have to post the public hearing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all of your paperwork that you've
Yeah.
submitted in
Right.
can go to the engineering company, be processed, and get back with reviews and comments. When we open up the public hearing, those comments have already been reviewed and stuff like that, and then we can formally take up the discussion in a public hearing. That will happen in June 11th. So between now and our next meeting, you can get initial feedback from the engineering company that we'll select tonight. And
Okay.
along that takes for that ball to roll and those discussions to happen and clarify any points, that's all the, behind, the work that has to be done, and then we have the public hearing meeting.
Yeah, we're not delaying anything. I mean, this is the process. It's not that
Oh,
we're,
I understand. No, I understand that you're not, I just want to make sure that I understand how we're moving forward.
Yeah.
That we're making a decision on who it's going to be tonight.
Yep.
And then that person's going to get everything, do what they have to do, and we'll meet again on the 11th.
Correct. I have a question. Is there a mandate in this proposal that they have to have this work done within 2 weeks, review and everything? I mean,
There's not, but I can.
DEP's like 6 to 8 weeks,
The way it would work is I would give them a notice to proceed letter indicating the next board meeting date. And ideally, they'd get that well in advance so the applicant would have a chance to respond to it. Now, currently, the consultant doesn't have the authorization to
right,
look at those responses.
right.
To take up the matter.
So if we get to that meeting on the 11th, and the board wants to ask them to look at it, that's when that will happen.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
Okay.
okay, so it'll be on the agenda for the 27th, though, for us to discuss more, right?
So no,
No, nothing on the agenda for the
Nothing on the
27th? Okay.
27th.
Yeah, so it would be the 11th would be our next meeting with you.
Do we ask the applicant if they want to reject any of the three? Do we ask the applicant if they want to reject any of the three that?
What's your question, Les?
what
You want to ask what?
No, what I would suggest is the board proceed and make a recommendation,
And
and
then
then
they
if they have an issue with it,
Then they can reject it.
They can appeal.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
fair
it's
enough.
supposed to work.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so we will probably vote on which company we're going to choose to do the work tonight. And if you have any concern about that, you can
Object.
file to let us know that, and we'll proceed from there. That's the way it'll go from now.
So we want right now
Okay.
the motion. We're gonna need a vote on who's gonna
Yes,
do it?
yeah. So what's the board's feeling on which one you want to go with?
Leonard is fine.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Leonard.
Okay?
Do we need
All
a
right, so,
formal vote and a formal vote?
yeah, we have to have a vote.
So a motion would be for outside peer review for the 93 Davis Realty Trust, for us to use Leonard Engineering.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mike Z,
Second.
second by Aaron. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote
Aaron Sokrat, yea, on Leonard.
on Lynette. Yep.
Yes.
Mike Greco, aye on Leonard.
Mike Swicker, aye on Leonard.
Les Stevens, aye on Leonard.
Jake Schultzberg, aye. Leonard.
Okay, the ayes have it. Motion carries, okay?
Tracy's out.
And we're going to move towards the 11th now, going to be put on to the 11th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need time for that? No?
there's nothing open. Let Maria deal with the time as part of the advertising.
Yep, for the public hearing, so.
Yeah,
You'll be notified of the time.
Yep.
yeah. On.
Yes, you will be notified, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, anything further?
Yep, just wanted to know where I stand, so we
Yep.
decided on somebody and we're moving forward, that's
Oh, yes.
all that matters.
Okay, yep. All right, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks.
Thank you for having your time, have a great night.
You
Thank
too. Yeah, stay safe. All right, it's 7:30, we can go on to our next public hearing. Public hearing continues. William STARUK, application for an accessory apartment special permit, 12 Parker Road, possible vote. Public hearing is now open.
There's nothing there, right?
No, we didn't.
Tracy's back?
Okay, Gracie, you back?
Bill, there's nothing.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay,
So,
let the record show that Tracy's back. Okay, Bill, go ahead.
so we've got no new information submitted from the applicant since the last meeting.
Okay. All right, does anybody in the audience have any questions? No? Okay, anybody on the board have any questions right now?
Did they call for?
Anybody online have any questions?
None for me.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Seeing none, you want to continue the public hearing?
That's not up to me. That's
Did they,
Yeah,
did they paid for a public hearing?
If we haven't received anything,
Yeah.
we might as well.
Did they
So we
pay-
need a motion.
So I think what happened last meeting, we were
Yeah.
talking about, getting more information.
Correct.
Yep.
And,
On that big house, yeah.
they requested this night for our next meeting.
Yep.
So
Okay, nothing.
We'll,
I've
I'm
not
okay
heard-
pushing it.
we'll go and, we'll,
Give them a meeting.
full respect, we'll continue it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like me to reach out to them and say,
See what's going
board's
on, let 'em-
expecting?
We'll let them know that we have a date and stuff and a time
Okay.
for them. So we need a motion, I'm gonna make a motion to continue the public hearing for William Stark for the 12 Parker Road application for accessory apartment. And that's gonna be for May 27th at
7:30.
7,
How long do you want the Cooperstown for?
Probably.
at least a half hour. So make it 7:30?
Okay, motion made by Mike Z,
Second.
seconded by Mike G. Any further discussion?
Oh, sorry.
Roll call vote?
Aaron Sokrat, yea.
Mike Greco, aye. Aye.
Mike Swicker, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Tracy Sharp, aye.
Okay, motion carries. Continue.
Yeah, so
Good, you.
So the next one's at 7:45?
Yep. All right. All right, Bill, anything else you want to take in
We
between?
just got meeting minutes.
Yeah, you want to do meeting minutes?
That's it.
Okay.
Oh,
no,
Mike,
we
your
don't have,
favorite.
You're up, right?
What happened,
Bill,
what happened at 7:45?
Jeff Murphy's on.
It's
and-
not 6:45 yet, we
Okay,
can't start,
really?
the-
Okay.
you can't open it ahead of time.
Okay.
Mike.
Gotta wait. Your minutes,
All right.
Okay.
All right, meeting
Do minute
minutes.
stuff.
you go ahead.
Item number 6 under discussion. Minutes
Which one you
of
want?
number 6.
What day?
2/11.
Because there's a bunch, no, the
On
date.
today's agenda, the date is February 11th. I
Okay.
was getting there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You cut me off.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thing is, we approved that already on February 11th, so that's old history.
Yeah, that is history.
Okay.
Yep, okay.
Same is true of February 25th. We approved that
Yep.
on February 25th.
Okay.
So, and
310.
310, that's new. So I haven't looked at it, maybe others have, but we haven't
No, I haven't.
addressed it yet, I don't think.
We can put them off till the next meeting.
Yeah,
Unless you can get it done in 2 minutes.
Or we can come back to it after, to
yeah.
peruse it.
310.
Well, we just got the 410 in our packet, right? 430. So we can do the next two next meeting.
Yeah, at the end.
We'll start.
Just get them knocked
Yep.
out.
All right.
Okay.
All right, we still got a few minutes, Bill. You want to do anything else?
You want to talk about Andy?
Sure.
Oh, he's here. Our number 4 item discussion.
All right, Andy.
Yep.
Right there. Oh, I had something like that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
Yes, Tracy.
are you guys taking Andy right now?
He's sitting in the audience right now,
Yeah.
but he's talking to Bill right now. He'll probably be coming up in a
Are you
minute.
taking him, or are you gonna do the public hearing?
We're doing Glen
She's gonna be
Street.
recusing herself from Andy.
First?
About 7:45, yeah.
It's not 7:45 yet, so we're doing what we can before 7:45, because the public hearing's scheduled for 7:45.
I know, is Andy coming up or no?
He just got here. We'll find, he's here. Yeah, you coming up, Andy? He's coming up.
Come on, Andy.
Well, I'm staying here.
I'd like to recuse myself.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
Andy's coming up.
All righty.
There you go. He's up.
Okay, let the record show that Tracy has recused herself for this part of the discussion.
Oh, I like that. Camera view.
Nice.
I can see everybody now.
All right.
Nice. Full circle.
Okay, Bill, what do we
All
got?
right, so since our last meeting, I spoke to town council a few times. In your packet are those correspondence. As you may recall, just to refresh your memory, the permit expiration date was May 8th. There was a condition within the permit that extends, that still the permit expires on May 8th, but they're allowed up to June 8th, 30 days, to restore the site. That's not a typical condition. In fact, the prior permit was very clear that it had to be repaired, restored prior to the expiration date, which is why I was a little confused about that. Nonetheless, town council said that June 8th, they have till June 8th as a hard date. The surety, he has concerns about accessing the surety after June 8th. So in the event the site does not get restored prior to June 8th, or surety is not modified to allow a further extension or replaced with a different type of surety with a different agreement, we're going to have a problem after June 8th, okay?
Okay.
So Kevin, I don't know if you can pull up, we've got some photos Andy had sent me yesterday, I think. Was it this morning? It's all a blur, Andy.
Did you shoot them to me in email, or?
They're on that web link. If you go to tinyurl.com, Douglas Planning Board, / Douglas Planning Board.
It's important for my case.
Andy's camera's a little more
Do you have the
forgiving.
meeting minutes on there?
Well, yeah, it took it for a long time.
Is the grass growing over there or what?
Just seeded.
Plenty of rain. Just need time now, needs sun and time.
Right.
That's it.
Oh,
Warm weather, too.
Yeah, yeah,
By a little,
no more snow or freezing.
Yeah.
So there's two things really. So there's some grade issues that need to get dealt with.
yeah.
And there is the question of getting vegetation established. So those are really the two.
Yeah, I think
two
where
issues.
we're at is, if the pitches came up,
So it's down bottom.
literally the place looks like a golf course now.
Down here?
It's,
Number 4,
Oh,
Earth removal?
yeah, yep. There you go.
photos taken by operator.
Photo up top.
All right, hold on. I gotta just share the screen. Give me a second.
Yep.
Looks like they're coming.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, if they were, so now, the whole thing's been power raked, so basically screen alone. It's just seeded last week in the back. The repairs that Bill had pointed out previously, and again, those are from a distance, but that top one is the washouts repaired, the stones that Bill had that were kind of took a picture in time. All that's cleaned up. This is that slope that was an issue last week, Bill.
Yep.
Yep.
All cleaned up. So that's where the job is at. But as Bill's reviewed or in the process?
yeah, Kevin, can you go back to the main screen?
Yep.
Yep, the second item down.
Drawings.
Okay, so this is my comments on the as-built. So what you're looking at, the areas that I circled in red are the areas that are below what the approved grades showed. And if you scroll down a little, Kev, there's a greenish circle that's almost in the center of the map.
Yeah.
That I'm a little concerned that the slopes in that area are steeper than what was approved.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
There's a max grade that the permit calls for, and those grades are steeper than that.
Okay.
So some of my comments include, I want their engineer to specifically address these items so that I'm not misinterpreting the plan, and indicate whether or not, in fact, they've over-excavated in areas or the slopes are steeper than they were approved. And, I'm not sure that those things are fatal. It's certainly within the board's authority to allow these things.
Yep.
I'm just pointing out the deviations from what was approved.
Okay.
So you,
Yeah,
Bill,
so, we're meeting Mark Allen out there Friday. Do we have a copy of this?
Yeah, well, it's on the site.
It's the first time I've seen it. So we're meeting Mark Allen, the engineer out there, so he can double check those. They showed up on our as-built as 2-to-1 as a minimum, so we'll verify those. But other than, right now, we're just wrapping out regrading that driveway that was fixing stuff for them. The back's all done, seeded. We're meeting Mark Allen Friday, so he can respond to these. That was set up by Marley. So we're at like Bill and I spoke, we're at the point where, other than sodding it, we're at the mercy of the grass growing. And to the satisfaction of the board prior to June 8th. Will that happen? I don't know. So the bond that we have in place expires March 25th, 2021.
I'm just telling you what town council said, and they.
No, I understand.
Right.
So we're just, the issue, I think, and I'm asking, is that obviously the ownership changed, we're the operator, so the ownership changed. I guess the applicant may or may not have changed. So,
There's a currently active permit, the applicant, nothing about the currently active, well, not active, now expired, nothing about that permit is changed, okay? So we would have needed a request to change part of that
from the owner.
from the applicant.
So applicant is GBI. They're been a little cumbersome, but there's some resistance to change that. So we're in that process. So we're done with the exception of the grass growing and getting the as-built to Bill's satisfaction. So I'm sure we'll get the as-built done to the board and Bill's satisfaction. Whether the grass is grown, I can't speak to that.
So
we're just trying to, there is a bond in place till March
right, so
2021.
unfortunately, you know, we'll probably have to take this up at the next meeting, I think. Or the next, or the.
We don't meet again before the 11th.
Right, so it's got to be on the next meeting.
Yeah.
That's it.
And unless you submit something that satisfies town council for that surety question.
Yeah, and so have I received the questions, the email?
I forwarded you an email late this afternoon,
Yeah,
copied Jay.
Yeah, okay, I may have to redo that with you
Yeah.
on the phone. Because
I would rather you and him talk directly.
That'd be better.
Yes, that would be better.
So, you know, and if we had to, we'd revert to cash and write a letter request.
Right.
Okay, so
That's what it's
we can,
just,
think we can wrap this all up by the 27th?
If the grass grows,
Yeah, well,
you know,
I'm not so much worried about the grass growing as I am about what the surety is.
2-1?
And
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm not so much worried about the grass growing as I am about what's going to happen with the surety.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah,
and the as-built, those are the two things I'm worried the most about.
Yeah.
Grass, you can always replant it again if it doesn't take. It looks good, I went by, it looks great. He did a lot of nice work out there. Hopefully that will take, it looks like it's going to, but who knows? But I'm more worried about the surety issue and the as-built issue.
yeah, so
I'd like to have that wrapped up.
really need to talk to town council to satisfy,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking, but it sounds like
Yeah,
we have to talk to town council to satisfy his.
correct.
And have it all,
If he's
have it
happy,
all
I'm happy.
before next meeting.
Right, prior to next
All of
meeting.
it, before next
2
meeting.
weeks.
2 weeks.
So,
We're going to meet again on the 27th.
Yeah.
Our next meeting will be after June 8th, so,
Well, no, our next meeting is the 27th, then the one after
then
that.
June 11th.
it's June 11th, yeah, I said it's going to be after June 8th, and that's when the surety expires, on June 8th.
So the board's going to have to take action
We'll have to take action
on the
next meeting.
27th.
if
One
town
way or
council
another.
doesn't give its blessing.
But if the town council doesn't give the blessing, we'll just give you
Right,
the cash flow.
right.
Okay,
And then
that sounds
lastly,
good to
I
me,
did
that's
forward
fine,
this-
yep.
I did forward this to Murray,
Yeah.
so he has
I'm
that.
sure that's why he set up the meeting with.
Okay,
Mark
okay.
Okay,
On the over excavation, how much do you think it's over?
No, I don't think that, quite frankly, because that whole back parcel wasn't over excavated, so I'll have to look into that, because actually that turned into all fill, so we stayed 10 feet higher.
yeah, just give us an as-built that,
You had a number of different surveyors, you know what I mean, so I don't know.
I know, yeah.
I'm just comparing one to the
All I'm
other.
saying is, we didn't go, we're 10 feet higher than
yeah,
we were supposed
just
to.
get us one that shows that you are. Get us a good as-built.
We'll get to the bottom of
All right.
it. That's not over excavated.
All right, so the 27th is our next meeting, you want to
Can't wait,
wrap it up then?
I can't wait.
That sounds like a plan to me. All right, board, any further
No?
comments or
No.
questions? All right,
Just leave it
Bill,
on.
put them on.
Discussion item.
Thank you, Andy.
Yep,
Thanks,
thanks.
Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Perfect.
Tracy, you coming back?
There we go.
Next meeting's the 27th, right?
Yep, of May. Okay,
All right, we'll do
take the next.
public hearing
7:45?
continued.
I'm here.
Okay, we're continuing with our public hearing for 7:45. All right, public hearing continued. BWC Whiten Reservoir LLC, CO Blue Wave Solar. Application for a public shade tree permit. application for site plan review permit, application for scenic road permit, 45 Oak Street, possible vote.
Mr. Chairman, I recuse myself. I'm gonna butt
Okay, let the record show that Mike Z is recusing himself from the meeting. Okay, do we have anybody on from Blue Wave?
There he is.
Yeah, I'm here. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just wanted to provide an update to the board on kind of where things stand, where our discussion left off last time. So I just want to update the board that the applicant has submitted a pilot agreement to the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
I know that was something that was discussed at the last meeting, so that's just a follow-up update on that.
Okay.
And then we're looking to kind of just get clarification and just try to make sure that we're staying on track here to get the stormwater review initiated. On Monday night, the Conservation Commission voted to approve the Pear Corporation to do the review of the stormwater. So we had requested a concurrent review of stormwater for both planning and conservation. So we were hoping that that process could then be started, and we just want to kind of get that going.
Okay. I don't know, could you just give your name, please? I don't know if you gave that at the beginning, I didn't hear.
Sure, this is Jeff Murphy with Beals and Thomas on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you.
WC Reservoir LLC.
Okay, thank you. All right, Bill, any comments?
No, I agree with everything Jeff said.
Okay.
I was going to bring up the decommissioning surety estimate. I would like to send that out for review, and my original offer was going to be to piggyback on the Conservation Commission, or have us pay for the Conservation Commission peer review, because we're doing the same review.
Right.
But they apparently wanted to pay for their own peer review. So I don't understand it. We have an account already established. They don't, so we're losing time because they now have to set up an account for that peer review where we could have hit the ground running. So.
Can I interject for a second?
What was that?
Bill?
Yeah,
Can I interject for 1 second?
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of confusion on if we were able to access those dollars by signing off, without having planning board sign off on invoices. If the invoices can just go through the Concom and then the request for the money be done without planning board involvement.
Just on up on the
Okay.
Okay. So the other thing was,
Do you know what I was asking? Can you hear me?
was that?
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah, we heard you. Yeah.
We heard you.
Yeah. At the conservation, there was some confusion on whether we could easily access the dollars in the 53G account that currently exists.
Yeah, okay, Bill?
It would only become an issue, we're doing the same review, okay?
Okay.
The stormwater that the Concom reviews is the same as the stormwater the planning board reviews. It's the same scope.
Yep.
We did talk to the applicant, and they did not object at the last meeting to structuring it that way, instead of setting up two separate accounts.
Yeah, okay.
So, they were okay with it. It's the same scope. In theory, I don't think there's an issue. We may have to get both boards to sign off on it, which shouldn't be problematic, but on invoices, that is.
Yeah.
Or the chairs of those boards.
Yeah, okay.
It just, like I said, it's more money tracking and account setup and extra duplication of effort, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to avoid the duplication of the effort, so if we could make a motion to allow for conservation to use those existing funds in that 53G account, the board will be amenable to that. I mean, I can have that as, a motion There was some confusion on keeping, how the money was coming out, and if the planning board would have to sign off on those dollars.
Well, of course they would.
Yeah, it would be from our account, yeah, right. Is the Conservation Board applicable to that, to one review and?
Yeah, like one board handling the review?
Yeah.
Well, I think Tracy's asking that.
What?
You broke up there, Tracy. Want to repeat it?
No, we just want to keep the project moving forward, however we can do that easily, but I think there was a question on the sign-offs. And if we had to have a separate account, or if we were going to have to go through the planning board to sign off on that.
So I sent the Conservation Commission an email with the request from the planning board asking that we utilize the planning board account to pay the bills, that we jointly utilize the same consultant for the same scope of work. Did the board talk about that, Tracy?
No.
No?
You didn't talk about it?
I don't think we spoke about that on Monday. The easy to do it is what I'm for.
Say that again, what?
I think the easiest way that we can do it is what me and the board would be for. I just, there was some how to get the consultant paid, which
Concom's being taken out of the process of signing off on it. That's because the planning board is.
Yeah.
That's what the question is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Concom, are you willing to relinquish that, or you want to hang on to that? That's what the question is. Or you don't mind the planning board signing off on it?
I mean, I'll speak for myself as the chair of the Concom also, that we would not object to that as long as the consultant can get paid and there's no issue.
That's what the question is, yeah.
So the plan.
We had our meeting on
Yeah.
Monday,
So
and they paid a consultant, and that's the end of the discussion. I mean, Jeff, if you want to chime in, if there's something that I didn't remember, but I think there was some confusion on how we get.
Yeah, right.
There was definitely a disconnect from my perspective, right? There's a disconnect between what Bill was suggesting and then what Steve, I guess, didn't really put two and two together in that email that Bill sent, and I think there was just confusion of what action could be taken. So I just want to get everybody on the same page so we can just move this thing forward.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, that's our objective too. Bill, can we vote on this without, we have to have Conservation's approval, and do they have to do it as a board, or can she do it?
What's being requested? The Conservation Commission is looking for the planning board to take the lead on the stormwater review, utilizing Paracorp.
Okay.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Is that what you're saying, Trace?
And there's access to the funds to pay for.
Correct. The planning board will, yes.
In the account right now,
Correct.
not opening a separate 53G account.
Yes, the planning board will pay para for the review.
To be clear, the Concom can't pay out of the planning board's account. The
Right.
planning board has to sign off on it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
We're good.
What my question is can Tracy speak for the board, or does the board still have to have another meeting and vote on it? Can we move forward by?
I'm not sure how they voted or left it.
Yeah, did you vote on it, Trace, or did you?
We voted to use Paracorp for the consultant.
Did you vote to set up a 53G account?
Separate?
I don't think so.
Not sure.
I'm not sure.
You remember?
I don't think we did. That sounds new to me.
Then that's
I
good.
don't recall.
That's good.
Yeah. So
Can we move?
Scenario, I'm sure that I could find a way around if the planning board votes that, and if there's a required Concom vote, I'm sure that we could make that happen.
So it sounds like we selected the same company to do the review. We know that the planning board, because it's the planning board 53G account, will pay the bill. And it's pretty that simple.
Yeah.
The money thing, it's access to the money and how you proceed with that.
But
So the way I see this happening, okay?
Yeah.
because we didn't review any scope or we didn't select a consultant, the Concom would be reviewing, getting the information to come to them, including the invoices. They would sign off on the invoices. They would then send the invoices to us to sign off on.
Yep.
And then we would pay it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay, is that good with you, Trace? Did you hear that?
Yeah, so that's what the issue was, who is going to be signing off on what? So, just to get the person paid.
Conservation first, then planning.
Yep.
Come to us.
And I'm going to run that by the town accountant
Yeah.
because she's very particular.
Yes, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right, so,
So conservation will sign the invoice, then we pass it to Ernie to sign to get the consultant their money.
yep, yep,
Yes.
correct. We just have to make sure that both boards are in agreement, that's all. I don't-
okay, so along those lines,
Yep.
let me just further this discussion. As you know, I was going to have an outside consultant do the decommissioning estimate. We did use Paracorp on one of the projects we've done in the past, and
Right.
we also used Stantec
Yep.
on one of the projects in
Right.
the past. I'll tell you, I was not happy with the review Paracorp did,
Okay,
okay? They went back and forth a number of times with the consultant because I don't think they were quite where they needed to be. And I didn't think it was a matter of the consultant, or the applicant's issue. I think it was on the consultant's end.
okay,
So, and that's not to say that they're not proficient at stormwater, I think, So I would not suggest that we use Paracorp on a decommissioning estimate.
okay.
I would suggest that we solicit some pricing from various consultants to do
Okay.
that.
Do you need a vote for that?
No,
You're good?
just
Yeah, I'm-
consensus is
Agreed.
fine.
I think that makes sense.
Yep, okay.
I'm in favor of that.
But you're okay with the stormwater part of it?
Yeah, I mean, assuming the town accountant's good with it, I'm okay.
Okay. Right,
Is this for Spirit? I'm not sure how that guys included this.
Two.
That's from the previous meeting.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
That's
It doesn't really,
Right.
it's not really clear who's paying for the account, though.
No, it's
Whether
the board, meaning the planning board. Those are planning board minutes.
Okay, so that's.
Can I just ask for a clarification on how so you guys are working it out internally in terms of administratively how the money is being allocated for this review? Like, we're not responsible for providing you guys a check at this point? Is that my understanding? Correct?
Yeah, Jeff, let me talk to the accountant tomorrow and I'll let you know. There's two choices. Either the town accountant's going to say, yes, we can have first the Concom sign off, and then second the planning board sign off and come out of that planning board 53G account, or she's going to say no. If she says no, I'll let you know, send a check into the Concom, we're going to have two separate accounts.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
okay. Bill, we're not voting on anything then?
No.
No.
We need to review the comments?
Well, these are draft comments. I just wanted to get them really to Jeff as a courtesy because I know he's been waiting for a little while.
Right.
So there's nothing remarkable in there. What I garnered is that the electronic plans are not really working for me for review, so I need a hard copy really so I'll tell you what I was looking at. Yeah, the grades on some of those internal roads have me concerned, Jeff. Looks like some of them are 12% or greater even, and, they're very narrow, so, I want to take a closer look at that.
Yeah, I don't believe I graded any of the ring road over 10%, but I'll get you the hard copy plans for sure as soon as I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can be challenging on electronic copies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've had issues too.
All right, so anything else, Bill?
Nope.
No? Okay. Anybody in the audience have any comments or questions?
Folks online? The audience?
Anybody online have any comments or questions?
Just when it comes to that.
Okay, seeing none.
Driveway
All
open.
right, you want to put you on for May 27th meeting, Jeff?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Was that you, Jeff?
Was that you, Jeff?
Yeah, I think.
No, that was me. There's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, that's, I'm hearing that too, yeah. Yeah, do you want to be on for the 27th?
Yeah, I think so.
Trying to think.
That's our next meeting.
That's our next meeting. Our next meeting is May 27th, and then after that is June 11th. So we can put you on for the next meeting if you want for May
I think so,
27th.
Jeff.
Bill's recommending.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's continue to the 20, let's do the 27th.
All right.
Thanks.
Ernie? Hello?
Yes,
Oh,
we can hear you, Shirley? Yeah, go ahead, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley Nazinski, 60 Oak Street.
Yeah,
You brought up about the inner roads and the grading and so forth. I'm concerned because there's been a lot of activity up on that site all this past week. It's like big boulders are being dumped, and I don't go up there. It's not my property, but is the grading still as you saw it before? That's my question. And I thought there was no work that was supposed to be done up there until the project started.
so I guess we can ask Jeff to
yeah.
address that question.
Yeah, I think Bill had mentioned something to me last week about there being some sort of activity on the site, and upon following up on that, it's my understanding that that work has nothing to do with this project. I don't know what the landowner is doing out there specifically, but it definitely doesn't have anything to do with the project that we're permitting right now. And again, I don't have the specific details or what's occurring, but
Okay, no, that's good enough, Jeff.
Yeah.
Shirley, it's not them that's doing any work up there, it's the landowner. So it's not this,
Well, if it's the landowner, if this is the land that she is going to be using for the solar project,
yeah.
it does have an effect.
I mean, when this permit gets approved, then we will be monitoring what the activity is. As far as the landowner doing work on her own property right now, that's not an issue for this project or this board right now.
Yeah, and I'll,
And the only reason I asked is because he mentioned the grading.
Yeah,
And does this affect the grading of the project, the land?
whatever's going on
Site
is,
is going to be on?
whatever's going on isn't connected to this project right here. When the grading we were talking about was on the plans and numbers and figures and on the drawings. There isn't any actual work being done by the applicant at this time.
yeah,
So whatever's going on is whatever the landowner is doing.
yeah.
Once this project gets approved and they start doing their work on the project, then the grading and that type of thing will be a concern of ours, and we will monitor that.
Okay.
Okay?
Don't say I didn't tell you.
Yeah, I won't. Thank you for your information, though, but we'll keep an eye on it. And Jeff said he will check in to see what it is, so,
Yep.
thank you.
Thanks.
All right, anybody else?
That's it.
Okay, you want to make a motion to continue the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing for May 27th at 7:45 for BWC Whitin's Reservoir LLC for 7:45.
I'll second that.
At 7:45, Bill?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Motion made by Les, seconded by Jake?
Yes.
All right.
Roll.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Aaron Sokrat, yes to extend.
Mike Greco, yes, to extend.
Les Stevens.
Look, abstain.
Mike abstains. You recused yourself from the.
Yep. Les Stevens. Yes.
Jake Schultzberg, yes.
Okay. Tracy?
Tracy?
Oh. All right.
Yes?
Perfect.
All right, motion carries.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. We'll see you on the 27th at 7:45.
all right, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for joining.
Yep.
Okay.
We do a minute, or we want to wait till the next meeting?
What do you want to do, Mike?
Let's do the meeting minutes, because we've already
It's the 30th?
discussed
Yeah, okay.
February 11th has already been approved.
Yep.
It's history. February 25th is approved, that's
Yep.
history. The one before us is May 10th.
Yeah.
Excuse me, March 10th.
And March 10th.
March 10th.
That's been in our packet, at least from the last meeting or something.
Yep.
I looked at it, I don't know whether anybody else.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Any, find anything? Anybody else find anything on the meeting minutes?
No?
Motion?
I'll make a motion
There you go.
to approve the meeting minutes for March 10th as written.
I'll second that.
All right, motion made by Mike G, seconded by Mike Z. Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Aaron Sokrat, yes to accept.
Mike Greco, yes.
Mike Zwicker, yes.
Les Stevens, yes.
Jake Schultzberg, yes.
Tracy?
Tracy, yeah.
Motion carries.
All right.
All right.
Nope.
All right, Bill,
One more?
one more.
Current one, that's in there?
It's not on our agenda. Oh, it's on the backside? Oh, yeah, it is on the backside.
April
the agenda.
30th.
Yeah,
Where?
the April 30th. It's on the backside of the, our agenda. It's in our packet.
Oh, April 30th.
Yeah, number 9,
Ah, Mike.
Oh,
page 2.
I think,
Do we want to wait for the next meeting?
yeah, well,
yeah.
It's too fresh?
yeah,
We'll on them till
this
the
is
next.
new to me, I haven't seen it till
Yeah,
tonight.
all right, look at them, we'll do them at the next meeting.
There you go.
All right. Future items on the agenda, solar bylaw, zoning map, Douglas subdivision bounds, residential compounds, private ways, subdivision regulations, CMRPC, adult entertainment bylaw, and forms. So if anybody has any information or anything they want to present at that future, bring it in. Bill, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the EDC did send an email over to, the Economic Development Commission sent an email over to the planning board. They are recommending a zoning bylaw change. So I'll bring that to the, I'll actually email it to the board and
Okay.
probably put it on the next meeting for discussion.
Okay,
And aside from that, we have a number of zoning bylaws for a town meeting. So I'm wondering what the board feels about starting to schedule and hold those public hearings.
I think might as well get them underway. Because we don't know, because we don't know when our annual meeting is. At least we can get them underway, and
But
if
there's a
we're,
timeline, it's actually 6 months, but,
yeah, all right.
you know, we have to have it, our hearing within 6 months of the town meeting date, so. you know,
Keeping in mind that we're
certainly
going to meet
schedule
once.
it and then start
Right.
it.
yeah, we can start it and then continue as we know that date
No
firms up.
more info, we
Yeah.
could do that.
Yep. You know,
Well,
I
maybe,
didn't-
so I'll proceed with scheduling those.
Yes, yeah,
yeah.
keeping in mind that we only have one meeting a month for the next 3 months, so,
Right.
yeah, we probably should get started on them then, yes, yeah.
and what are those? Was it just a?
How many are
We
there, Bill?
have the solar, we have the zoning map change, there's some updates that are, you know, when we go to town meeting, we make a change here and a change there.
Yep.
The map, the actual official map has to get updated, so that
Okay.
has to go through town meeting. We have the new one from the EDC. Basically, it's rezoning on Gilboa Street between North and Dunkin' Donuts. The south side of the road, there's a small strip after the residential house that's currently zoned residential, they want to make commercial.
Okay. Just one.
Okay,
So we'll talk about that next meeting. Well, the other thing is Central Mass Regional Planning Commission has some grant funds they'd like to help us with.
oh, okay,
They know we've been talking about solar bylaws. They first offered to assist us with that, but I thought we were pretty well along. So the thought I had was maybe they could help us with the regulations, because we were talking about having regulations. Now, I know, and I want to make this, known, I spoke with Matt about it, the selectmen may want to talk to the planning board about some of these solar bylaw changes that we're talking about.
that's fine, okay,
You know,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think we were adding it in the zoning areas and stuff like that. Yeah, we could cover it with them.
That's right.
Because I think we were just making sure we had it in the proper zoning areas, what's allowed, what's okay, and I don't think there's any.
So unless there's some other idea that the board has to utilize CMRPC for something, should I make the recommendation to Matt to have them assist us with solar regulations?
Board?
They're familiar with a variety
feeling?
of different towns.
You saying yes, Tracy?
Yes. They have some good input.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Tracy
On what
says
we're
yes.
looking for and what other towns are doing. Try to keep something.
Has the Board of Selectmen looked over what we,
Well, yeah, we submitted it to them as a
Yeah.
warrant article.
and they have questions on what we're doing?
Well, I know they're talking about some municipal solar,
Yeah.
so I think that's what they're concerned about.
Okay. I mean, if they are interested, we certainly should meet with them and
Yeah.
discuss
Before
their
we go
concerns.
the next step, get that all kind of hammered out, and then go for some regulation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we have a better scope of what we're really
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that makes sense.
yeah, that sounds good to me.
I think we talked about, quite a few months ago, long ago, about maybe looking at that residential compound language and seeing if we could do some type of flex situation where it was more not, larger lots, created more open space like the flex does, and the benefit of that. I don't know if that's worthwhile to see what other towns have for residential compounds and CMRPC, you know what I mean?
I could certainly ask.
I just wasn't sure, you know what I mean? Because I don't know if we're 100% happy with the way it's laid out, the language in there today, to be
I
fair.
don't think it's suitable for the town, but that's
Correct.
just my personal.
You know what I mean? I think that's I guess, yeah, I'm in line with Bill, and Bill and I had a previous conversation just about residential compound, what it means, but then I think the, 10 lots and all this other stuff, I think it's more if we could go for an open space type of, where the flex is, or maybe even review the flex and make it part of that.
Right.
We'll get some other inputs and take a look at them.
Yeah.
That'd be the way to start.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about maybe like combo it into the flex or something like that, and.
I mean, I mean, if you're talking about utilizing CMRPC for some of this, I'll talk to Sarah Adams
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
at the district and see what
That's
she
all,
has. to
see what other towns have done and stuff like that in those residential
So if
compounds.
there's any other thoughts, I'm happy to present. I
Yeah.
know it's short notice, but I
Yeah,
just
no,
talked to her
I
today.
think
No,
those would be two
let's
good
get done.
things.
Let's get done the business we have to get done. As far as taking on anything else right now, we're going to stick to one meeting a month. We're still in a covert
Yeah,
lockdown, whatever you want to call it. So I don't want us to be here for hours. I want us to get our meeting, business done, and we'll move on to the next meeting.
Yeah,
So we're not going to take on anything extra right now, is my feeling.
Yeah, look at the compound with the selectmen,
I'll
with the
second
solar.
that.
yeah.
Yep, that's on it.
All we would do is just get central mass planning,
Yeah,
just to do some research for us,
Yeah,
for future.
Compile your information, whatever you want to bring in, and we'll, we can move on that, but let's just stick to what our business is right now, so we can be in here and out of here
Yeah,
without spending a lot of time.
there you go.
Short and
All right, anything else, Bill?
Nope, that's it.
All right, anybody have anything that's not on the agenda they want to discuss? Wasn't anticipated? No, nothing? Any further business?
Nope, good.
All right, motion to adjourn?
To adjourn?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Motion
to
made by
adjourn.
Tracy, seconded
Second.
by Mike G. Roll call vote.
Aaron Sokrat, yes?
Mike Greco, yes.
Mike Zwicker, yes?
Les Stevens, yes.
Jake Schultzberg, yes.
Motion passes.
There you go.
We're adjourned.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Tracy.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody in the audience, for coming on.
Good night, everybody.